somebody commented on my Instagram that there are a lot of people who say that they are like Jo, but then they're actually not at all like the book Jo, because the book Jo, there are some boyish things that she likes, but then she also likes to be a mother, and she loves all the boys. She wants to start a school for boys, and then she also likes to knit and make clothes, and she likes to read romance novels, and she cries when she reads them. She adores her niece and her nephew, and she loves British nephews. She has some very feminine qualities.
When you say that, it reminded me, I made it like a while ago, like quite a while ago, but it sticks with me. I said something like, if Jo was present in the modern day, and this is again because I was very cringeworthy, but I was also this girl too. It was like that like era, like the 2008 to 2012 or so time, and where the girls were just like, I'm not like other girls. Like, and they made it seem like that, if you like the color pink, or you like this, you like makeup, and you like this, wearing dresses. It was almost like a negative quality. And I think Jo would have been that type of girl. Like in the beginning of the novel, she would have been that I'm not like other girls girl. And what makes her relatable, at least to me, is like throughout the book, she kind of realizes like there's nothing really wrong with liking those things. That's why I say like she learned to understand herself better, that like I can have some of the more stereotypical boyish qualities, but still like the girly things. But someone, it sticks with me forever, they replied saying, "You're an idiot," and then they proceeded to block me.
Oh no.
Like they didn't block me just long enough for me to see it. And then I was like, wait, let me check that again. And then I found out they blocked me. And I was not saying it as like to say like, oh, Jo is a terrible person. Like, no, I'm saying that she's a flawed person, and that's how her character grows. She goes from being like, I don't care, girls are stupid, boys don't have any drama, to being like, you know what, there is nice things about being a girl, and there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, it's amazing how some people just don't, they say that they love Jo or know Jo and then say stuff like that. I believe, I don't know if maybe you had seen it, but someone had like favorite literary character of the day, Jo March, and said something like, oh, but then they gave up their independence to marry that old professor. And I'm like, first of all, you don't know the book. If you knew the book, you would have seen how that went down. And I don't think you really care about the character as much to say, like, to make that claim of Jo gave up her independence and she's not that great of a character because she did that in marrying a man that loved and support her. And honestly, I think as quote unquote unromantic as they are, they had probably one of the most romantic proposal scenes I've ever seen in book or in movie. Yeah, it's amazing how some people just, they think they have an idea of the character. And I almost sometimes think, that's so Laurie of you. You have this perceived image of what Jo is and what you want Jo to be, when the truth is Jo is not like that, but you just want her to be that way. And it happens to be most of the time the Jo and Laurie shippers that have that sort of delusional idea of who Jo is supposed to be.
I think the whole idea of not being like the other girls, it comes from very deep misogyny, actually. This idea that you are better than fellow women, it's a form of misogyny. And it was a trend some time ago, hopefully not so much these days. I think one of the problems with Jo, especially when she was younger, was that she identified so much with the masculine that she became very misogynistic. And you can really see that when she sort of makes fun of Meg wanted to go to a ball, or Amy, trying to impress her female friends. But then she grows out of that. And I think part of that actually has to do with her and Laurie's friendship sort of not fading, but she's growing out of it. Larry has some great qualities, but he does sort of embodies this sort of 19th century typical, young man, the way they behaved. Joe got some really bad influences from him, and he from her as well. And then I think she kind of tries to block her emotions sometimes because she feels that if she shows her emotions, then people are going to see her weaker. And when people see her weaker, she's more feminine to them. She also grows out of that as well.
And that's why I think it's so even more moving to see her character development, because she goes from being someone who is so closed off and this is not tears, I just got something in my eyes type of person, to kind of being more open to take advice from people, more open to criticism, and more open to wanting to grow, because I think it's very much a stifling thing when you are told, like, just hold it in because, it's going to be seen as weak. And as someone that, in some ways, I was a very sensitive person, but I was always told that in a very negative light. So I was like, all right, you know what? I will just try to hold it in. And that was not healthy at all. And it was so almost in a way seen as kind of like, a very feminine thing. Like, oh, she's just an emotional little thing, the poor thing. And it's like, in some cases I was right. Like, what they said was very rude or mean, but boys will be boys and you're just being too emotional over it. Having Joe kind of learn how to sort of be more open and accepting, and to have a positive influence like her mom and Friedrich, that, just to name the few, to just sort of be like, it's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It just means that you're open to having other people help you. And sometimes that's the hardest thing, is to admit to saying that I need help, or this is bothering me, or I don't know what to do. Because if you just are that person that's like, yeah, sure, I know what you're doing. I know, I totally know that, and you don't. That can cause a lot more problems. And for me, it was, I had to sort of unlearn how to unlearn that behavior, because it didn't help me in the slightest. So now I've kind of lived by the motto of, if I don't know it, I'll ask for help. I'd rather admit that I'm being an quote unquote idiot rather than make myself look even more of an idiot than pretending I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I think it is a very long process for Joe to unlearn those habits. Real man. There's Nat's character. She kind of calls him girly, and she sees him a bit weaker than the other boys because he's so sensitive. And she has this similar relationship with Laurie. It's not that Friedrich is not sensitive. I guess he's not as sensitive as Laurie is. How would I put it? He's a lot more grounded, when Laurie is very idealistic.
I guess if I had to sort of think of it, it's like Laurie was who I was when I was in school, where I just took everything and made it full blown, whereas now I'm a little bit more like Friedrich, where it's like, that hurts, but let's try to just sort of see what's the best way to respond to that very sensitive moment.
It's a much more mature response. You try not to take everything too emotionally or too personally. Laurie does that, and I think to some extent Joe was like that as well when she was younger. Thank you for listening. To listen to full episode, You Are Meant for Labor, Not for Love, link is in the description. You can listen Little Woman podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. If you would like to get updated when new episodes appear, you can join the newsletter at littlewomanchannel.substack.com. Take care and make good choices. Bye!